anyone who has, Googled for more than 20 seconds knows that lobsters were considered crap. They were considered trash, and they were thrown away, and homeless people would eat them, poor people would eat them in huge, gigantic bundles. But then because of the way marketing and capitalism works, they repackaged it so that it became this trash that they would literally throw out, and dozens and dozens of poor people would eat, became an exclusive item. Okay, the same product. Nothing has changed about the product. It wasn't like these were lower quality lobsters. It was that the marketing and the commercialization of them changed. And that's how everything works. That's the reason people will randomly say, we're going to eat cow, we're going to eat sheep, but we're not going to eat a cat, we're not going to eat a dog.
You're big, some people will eat pork.
Absolutely.
Isn't there?
Because they're religious. Oh, this thing is...
Pork is dirty.
It's dirty, yada, yada, yada. And of course, I'm only talking about it in the construct of the United States. You go somewhere else, eating a cat, eating a dog is completely natural. And people in the United States, oh, that's horrible. That's horrible. Why is that horrible? And eating a cow is not. Because in the United States, the cultural definition is if it looks pretty to you in the eyes. If you're a dirty little pig, you can eat that. It has mud on it. Oh my gosh. If you're darker human, you can kill that and enslave that. See the connection? All right. Well, then focus. All right. Thank you.
I think, like, people think eating the way they want is almost a form of rebellion, and like eating what other people don't want to eat is really the ultimate form of kind of slavery. Because
I'm a black male, people don't automatically assume that I'm going to be vegan. They assume I'm going to be eating fried food and the leftover remainders that historically white people threw out to the blacks, and I'm going to be loving it. Fried chicken, love that Popeye, and all the junk.
It's like like you're eating the lowest quality food at the lowest possible price, possibly because you can't afford more.
But it's just crap and trash that the wealthier people, the slave owners, wanted. They didn't want to eat, so they gave it to black people.
Same stuff that's in dog food.
Yeah, same stuff that is in dog food.
Consuming disease-ridden food,
right?
From tortured animals, and then add to that the marketing. I'm always weirded out when I do watch television.
Marketing is the worst. People look at you because I guess you're a white female living in,
liberal community.
In a liberal community, they're going to be like, yeah, we get it. But a black person, oh, you're not eating, fried food 24/7. You're not catering to all the standard tropes of killing yourself with food that was traditionally thrown away by people like you. Leftovers, and we called it soul food. Oh, look, here's some pig ear, here's some pig intestines, things that, of course, God wanted us to eat.
When I watch television where there is advertising,
right, which is everything.
Yeah, so now if you watch Hulu or whatever, but if it's a show that they perceive black people to watch, then there'll be this specified set of commercials.
Targeted demographics, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why black people have heart attacks, high blood pressure, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, because we've bought in as a community. Diabetes, all the best killers. Okay.
And it's like when we read about the cigarette industry, we're completely mortified at what they knew about what cigarettes were doing to people and how they marketed them to people. Like, anybody that watched Mad Men saw that. But with food, it happens on a daily basis, and the government has these huge subsidies from our tax dollars that go to dairy industry and meat industry that are totally wholly unnecessary now. And they go to those industries and they go to these commercials where milk does a body good commercials, or in California, it's the Happy Cow campaign is in California. It's the California dairy industry.
We bought into that because we come from a poor background, a poor construct. And so eating is one of the pleasures of life. We can buy as much food as we want, and we can eat as much food as we want. And the doctors and the community and all the social constructs don't care that we're literally eating ourselves to death because Black people are insignificant.
People don't, like, if I tell them I'm vegan, they're not like shocked because I kind of look like a stereotype of a vegan. But what I was getting at when I asked you, I thought you
white female.
People assume
that's a good
you're
thing.
Vegan because why?
People miss the connection though. I mean, when you talk about veganism, it's one of those things where people immediately tune out because they go, "I'm a meat eater." Click, right? And yet there are people who are activists. There are people who are awake and don't see the universal connection. I know a lot of activists who are secular or, you know, anti-theist, or they might identify as atheists or whatever, and their water is life and blah 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 blah, and yet they're eating meat.
Right.
So
if your water is life and you're eating meat, which is
meat,
all about water.
Meat is the major
contamination of water,
and user of water.
Babies always resist eating meat.
Yeah,
like if you can find a baby that was like all gung ho to switch from the mashed vegetable foods to meat.
Yes,
they usually fight tooth and nail, and then later on, when toddlers understand that their chicken nugget is a dead chicken, if they've had that exposure, generally it's some sort of trauma. So to act like anything like that is natural is so ridiculous. Pretty much every one of us, if we actually allow ourselves to think about it and think of a point where we were either told we had to make a choice or we systematically chose to deny whatever was natural to us.
Right.